This is going to be a quick video just talking about what I've been up to the last couple of weeks. I went on vacation for a while and kind of stepped back from creating video content, and I'm preparing to travel to the Bahamas for a month to teach mobile development to a group of entrepreneurs down there. I'll probably be teaching without a doubt Ionic, and I will also be throwing in some Firebase, some Supabase, and kind of covering the basics to kind of help these entrepreneurs build out an MVP for their business. And so I'll definitely be going dark on creating YouTube content, at least for a month. So probably won't see much new stuff from me until August, September timeframe. Unless some interesting stuff comes up while I'm teaching, and I think it'd be some great content to share with everyone, I will share. But what I got for today is just like two short kind of code walkthroughs on some topics that I kind of stumbled into looking at some questions on the forums and in Stack Overflow. One is covering integrating the video capture Cordova plugin and the issues that existed with Android and not being able to get access to the file. So I hacked up basically I forked the plugin, made some minor changes to it, and figured out a way to get it working. And then what was the other issue? The other issue, was I know that there's been an uproar because there hasn't been a native Google plugin for maps. Someone in the community created one. There wasn't a React sample, so I kind of worked with the code and put together a React sample on how to use the community Google Map plugin. The plugin's not all the way there yet, but it's a good start. And I just thought it'd be an interesting thing to put together. So if you find these things interesting, please make sure you like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the code walkthrough. Here's the first video. So like I said, this Cordova Media plugin. So this is a plugin that a lot of folks use to record video in Capacitor. And there's an issue right now, which I noticed here. Where did it go? Can't access captured media on Android 11. Because what's happening is this version of the plugin is actually writing to a place that you can no longer get access to. So what I have done is I forked the plugin, and I have a forked version of the plugin here at a media capture. View Media Capture 2 is where I actually have the full source code, but the forked version of the plugin is here. And in this forked version of the plugin, it allows you to get access to the file. In fact, it writes the file to a location where you can get access to it on Android, and also you can get access to it on iOS. Since I didn't want to spend a bunch of time putting this video together, where I kind of running it on device, you can see it and all this other stuff, I've managed to hack it together such that you can see it in action and seeing it writing to the right place on in the emulator. And here in the code, what I've shown here is how we can actually get the full path of the file, and we can actually read it because we can convert the file to a URL, and then we do a fetch and we actually get the blob, and then we read the directory where the files are, but we also dump out the file path. And we'll take a look at the file path in the UI, and you'll see that it's at a location where you can get access to it. So let's try and run this thing on the simulator here. And the cool thing now with Capacitor's commands are you can basically just run this damn thing from the command line. So let's let it rip. Let's kind of make this font a little bit bigger so everyone can see what's going on. While this is running, I'll just quickly watch through the code. This is a very, 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 very simple demo. We have a button called Take Video. Inside of Take Video, we set our options here for the Media Capture plugin. We had to load Ionic native media capture. We didn't have to, but we did it to actually get access to the nice TypeScript support that's there. We have a ref that's going to actually hold the information from the video. We capacitor corks. We need to do some stuff with the file system. So we pass the options in. We record the video. We get the information from the video. We assign it to my ref. So we got to use volume. We assign it to the ref. And then here in the console log, we kind of dump out the information that we got. But I'm going to show it to you here in the application. Then I didn't do it, but what you can do is this will actually get you the blob. And this blob is what you want to upload to Firebase, Superbase, write to another file, or do whatever. And this was a problem before. You couldn't get the file. So we actually can get access to the blob now. And then the last thing I do here is we do a redirectory in the path where the application is writing the videos. So let's just take a dummy video here in the emulator, I guess they call it here. And so our camera's open. Let's click the button. Click the button. We're starting to do a recording. We're not really going to see much of anything. It's just recording. But it's good enough for what we're trying to do with the demo. And so now when I stop and I say, yes, let's accept this, you can go back and we get the results of what we recorded. So here's the file that we found with all the information. You can see the path of where it's writing this thing. We can get access to it here because it's in the cache directory for our specific application. And that was the problem before. So that's what this solution is that I've solved or provided. Also, this code is, where did I put this code? I checked this code, and let's go back to the browser. So as I said, there's 2 links, but the main place you want to start is if you start here at this code for Vue Media Capture 2. This is the app, my component other, and let's go to source. Use other view. This is all the source code that I just walked through, which kind of represents this app. Everything is here to run this on iOS or Android. I have tested it on both, and it works on both. Here's the Android package, here's the iOS package. Feel free to basically check this out, clone it, copy it, or whatever, and get it to go for yourself. If you have any additional questions, leave a comment in the video, and I'll see what I can do to answer them, but please check out the code first. Okay, so that's the first one, and then now let's move on to the next one. Shout out to the folks who are working on this Capacitor Google Maps plugin. As you can see, it's a good start. They are very clear in the beginning that they're still doing progress on this and that there's still some things that are work in progress. But when I was playing around looking at it, because like I said, I'm about to teach a course and I wanted to see kind of what stuff's out there. One of the things that most people want to always learn is like, how do I put a map inside of an app? So I said, let me see if there's a plugin yet. I tried out the plugin. I don't think it's quite there yet. I'm going to, for my course, I'm going to show how to do it with the JavaScript APIs. But when looking at this, I noticed that someone had logged an issue. Where was it? Add a React example. And so I said, let me just quickly throw together one. And so that's what I did. So all the source code for React example is here. Shows you how to bring the map up. Let me pause this and pull out the code and actually run this for you. You have all the source code here. Let's just run it first. You can see what you're going to get. So we're just going to run it on Android again. I'm going to use this the capacitor command. So let's let these scripts run. Please note that for this example, when you download the code, it does require that you have your own Google API key. I have my API key stored in a environment file, but you'll need to add your own to the project to get it to work correctly. All right, so we've compiled this thing. We have it set up for device. Also, make sure you follow the instructions and set the appropriate permissions inside of your Android manifest and your info plist on iOS. The first thing it's doing is asking for access for this device locations. I've hard-coded the locations to the Google location, but what I'm doing in the code here is I start up and I initialize in this initialize map function, which is called startup. Because on iOS, you need to call this initialize function, which requires the key. I get the device info to determine what device you're on. And if you're on iOS, then I run this. Otherwise, you just go. And so then inside of initialize maps, we call initialize maps, and initialize maps does all of this fun stuff. Okay, and then what we also do is Then on the Ion view did enter, we make sure we have a map. And what we do is we kind of get the bounding rec for it, but then we call this get location, and that's why it's asking for this question. So we want to get the location, and we're going to use that to center the map around that location. And then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to add a map marker using that exact location. So that's what's going on inside the code. And oh, it looks like I didn't answer yes, so it kind of hung on us. So let me run this again. I'm going to need to delete this guy. Let's see. So let's delete the app. And let's kind of run it again with less talking from Aaron. Okay, so it's asking for permission. Come on. I hate when these, we're going to allow access. Then it's getting the location and it's applying the location on the map for us, which is what we wanted to do. Like I said, it's pretty straightforward. I just wanted to show an example of how to integrate a plugin into your application. Also, if you're really excited about the work that they're doing on this plugin, I suggest that you follow along, test it, and give them the feedback that they need. I'll include the link in the bio. But it's great to see the folks in the community kind of doing the work. It looks like they do accept pull requests. So make sure you check them out. It's good stuff. Like I said, that's all I got for today. These two projects, source code's available for both of them. Just trying to do my part to contribute to the community. Please leave your thoughts, any suggestions on something else you'd like to see. And that's it for now. Also, this source code will also run on iOS or Android. And that's it. Take care. Bye.